I've got a bit of a problem. I've had this drawing on my easel for about a month now, that I've been slowly sort of picking away at, and yeah, just developing. But I've sort of got to a point where I can't go much further. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to take a bit of a risk and do something experimental on it just to get it to actually coalesce. Yeah, I'll grab the drawing and show you. So I don't know if you can, I don't know what the best way to do this is, but so this is the drawing. It's like a, I don't know, like a creature with like a humanoid sort of skeletal thing going on. But as you can see, so see where it can focus. So the bulk of the drawing is done. There's still some like, I need to push the values in certain areas. The problem I've got is that the creature or figure or whatever is kind of just floating on the texture. It's not really sitting in an environment. And I could create an environment by sort of working with pencil, sort of developing it, but that's going to take forever, and I don't think it's actually going to look very good because I'll have this texture, I'm going to have to be fighting against it and trying to conform it to what I want it to do, but it's not really going to, I don't think it's going to have the desired effect really. So I think I'm going to take a bit of a risk and do something which I've never done on a board like this before, like a big one. And I'm gonna see if I can apply texture over the top and create like a new plane for it to sit on. I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out, if it will look how I imagine it will look. Because when you reapply texture over the top of the old texture, it kind of, some of the strokes, the brush strokes, stay and some don't. But in general, it gets much darker. So it'll be noticeable, but it's whether it messes up the way it looks. I've got to the point with this drawing where I kind of have to do that. I don't see another way for me to carry on developing this drawing without doing that. So I'm going to have to take a bit of a risk, but ultimately it'll definitely be worth it. It's either I take the risk or I just leave the drawing like half finished, which for me isn't an option. I'd rather just get rid of the drawing, like destroy it and start again, than just leave it in a state of like perpetual incompleteness. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay, so I just made a little test piece just to show you guys what I'm thinking of doing on this board. So I don't know if you can see that well, but basically on the left-hand side, I don't know what it is to you. On this side is the original texture, and then on this side is the texture I've applied over the top. So you can see that it's made it way darker. It's kind of just like a black void there. So that's the idea behind what we're going to do on the bigger piece. So I'm just trying to roughly match the texture beneath it, because I don't want this to be really apparent. I don't want it to be, I don't want to say move this way and fight against the existing texture. That's not really the idea. Just trying to make this area beneath the subject darker. Hopefully it works. Adding in some slight variations. Now, I don't actually know how far up I want to go, because I could go up to like here, but then I don't know where, don't quite know where to end it. So we're just gonna have to kind of make that up as we go along. Yeah, I really don't know how high I want to take this. If we just settle for like there for now. I know it's probably not the right level. Ooh. Some part there. Might have to take this higher, but I'm thinking I might be able to edge this up in stages. Should be give me a bit of wiggle room. Okay. Right. Gonna let that dry for about 20 minutes. Probably won't take that long, but best to leave it until everything's fully dry before I try and burnish it. Right, so I've left the graphite powder to dry. It's actually the next day. So now we're going to brush off the excess graphite powder, and then we're going to burnish it with some tissue paper. And let's see how this goes. Moment of truth. Okay. we're gonna burnish it with a bit of blue roll. Right, I have the piece on the easel now, and you can kind of see what I was going for with the graphite powder. I think it's worked pretty much as I hoped it would. There might be some areas I need to tweak, but I'll keep working at it. See if I can get the figure to settle in a bit better. Right, so it's been maybe like a couple weeks since I've recorded the rest of that video, and I've finally got the drawing to a stage where I think it's finished. I might tinker around a bit more on it, but I thought I'd just show you where I took it and how that risk sort of fed into the final piece. So I haven't sealed it, so the shine is a little weird, but yeah. I found that the risk I took, I think, was worth it. It definitely saved me more time over like drawing all this black area in with pencil. But I found I had to go over a lot of it with pencil anyway. I think the key thing to take away from the reapplying the texture was that it provided more like variance in the forms that were already present. So it just sort of recontextualized the stuff that was there, which is really cool. Getting graphite powder on my fingers. Yeah, the only problem I had was where I had put up where I'd marked the edge of the texture. I was having real difficulty placing the figure on that and making it look like it's an actual like plane, like a surface. And not just this weird sort of... It looked like it was a plane and then it just ended, because obviously nothing looks like that in real life unless it's like a cliff, you know. It sort of gradiates out, but I wasn't able to like do that. So it's like a workaround. I decided to like make these textures at the top sort of feed down intermittently. It's almost like it's like a forest or I don't know, like rocky like outcrops or something. That's how I worked around that, which I think works. There are definitely elements on this that I don't like that much, but in general I think I'm very happy, and I'm glad I took the risk, because I wasn't gonna... The drawing wasn't gonna be completed if I hadn't taken that risk. Covered in graphite powder now. So yeah, if you have any like requests for videos or anything you want to see, I was thinking about doing a process video, or aiming to do a process of the whole drawing process at some point. So if you want to see that, yeah, just message me, comment. Yeah, any other requests, just say. Any queries, happy to answer. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.